Yo, what's up? This is vlog number 3. I promise I'm gonna stop counting after this. I just feel good. I'm being consistent. I'm just moving it forward the best way I can. I have maybe 2 confessions to make. I put the last vlog into the descript, basically, because I thought I had done something, and I'm still convinced I did. But as I said in the first vlog, there will be signs. There will be signs, right? And so basically I watched it back and everything was cool. So, but then I uploaded it from Descript. But here's the 2 confessions. One is that I'm a podcast producer. So I produce audio projects all the time. And so sound and dialogue is super important to me. I'm back in my studio and kind of debating on whether or not I'm going to take my Basquiat out and let him rock out, or do I keep him in the box? See, I collect postcards, but I'm not a pop or Funko collector. So, and I bought this at the Basquiat exhibit put on by his sisters that my wife and I went to, I guess back in 2023 now. And now it's in LA, which if I get a chance to go and see it in LA, I will. But I was just like, I wonder if I take it out the box or I keep it in the box. Anybody who is into Funko and products like this, let me know, because I wouldn't mind having uh, Jean Michel Basquiat over my shoulder. Sorry for all that noise. I'll stop messing with that now. Um, so anyway, back to here we go. Back to the script. And me being very serious about audio, I saw all of the ums and and pauses and all these things in this audio, and I wanted to handle it. I just wanted to take care of it all. So that means that the video would have been very, choppy because I'm editing the audio, and also it just wouldn't be authentic. I did change or remove one word, but because I was doing something else, I didn't listen back, and it completely erased the whole word out of the audio. So this is why I'm just like, see, this is right here. This is exactly why right here. So I'm wanting to bring this as authentic and true and genuine as I can possibly be, which means that I'm still learning how to talk with you all and do it where my nerves don't take over and I'm in an fest or fest. And so and the soul fest. All those things that happen when this is foreign. But I understand that for folks who are watching or listening, that you all are having to listen to those stumbles and those fumbles. So apologies in advance, but you know what they say, those that mind don't matter, and those that matter don't mind. I'm hoping that my words reach you all in general, and I don't have to do a whole bunch of fancy shit to make this channel rock, because that ain't me. I do want to do some cinematic things and some creative things, but for this, I just want to talk. That's going to be the best way forward for me, because if I don't do that, this won't exist. Trust me, this won't exist. And so I just wanted to jump on. Oh, I said I had another confession. Oh, the other one is that there are I guess because of the rendering, the video vlog 2 has some disruption in the video, and I don't like that. And like I said in the first vlog, I like to be in excellence at all times, but again, I have so much shit to do that if I allowed this to become a chore or something I had to be meticulous around and be too detail oriented, which I am in so many other places, this won't work out. So I wanted to take that down and put a new one up that didn't have those glitches. But yo, everything is a glitch anyway, so why not the video? So forgive that in vlog 2. I acknowledge the issues. I'm asking that you grow with me, as I mentioned in the beginning. This is all about me trying this on, working to bring the wisdom that I have, the grumpy nature in which I deliver it, the love that leads me to disrupting mindsets in a way that it permanently alters and challenges everything you think you know about anything. I'm also wondering about cursing on the channel. I don't know if that messes with growth or anything like that. Again, if you know it, please share it with me if that's something that happens. So I'm working to not drop the F-bomb too damn much. I know I said shit 2 times already. Now make that 3, possibly 4. 3 and a possible. And so I will work on doing that as well. But, you know, grown ass man, I curse, you know. I got it from a pop-up, and I'm sure he got it from his. And it is what it is. That rhymes. See, as I mentioned previously, I'm a poet. I'm a, I'm a romantic. You feel me? So I tend to speak in rhyme. I'm also a kid of hip hop, you know? So there you go. Not that I can rap and or freestyle, but can I write a good poem? Is a question. Well, you didn't ask a question. Yes, I can. I've also heard that I say poem weird. My wife and my daughter always clown me for it. This is the only way I know how to say it. So, and when they say it back to me in the way it should be said, it sounds the same. So, I'm gonna just leave that there. But I wanted to really talk to you because I mentioned that, and maybe I didn't. I talked to my daughter earlier today, and it had been the first time in a while as she's been doing some work, self work, which I highly encourage everyone to do, even if that means that you aren't in contact with the people that you love the most. You know, me and her are very tight, but I gave to her that autonomy of expression and that freedom of self that even if I gotta be sacrificed in some ways, do what you gotta do because you don't get to disappoint yourself. That's just how I felt. That's just how I feel. And so I told her she was talking about some things that she was on a journey with mentally and emotionally and just locking in. And I told her, I was like, well, you know, check out the book, the last book I wrote, and the podcast that's the companion to the book, Take What's Yours, Becoming a Liberated Creator. And you might have noticed that that's the first line in the channel. Hi, I'm Talib Jasir, and I'm a liberated creator. And I say that because this is the year of my liberation where I simply show up, be, you know, 100% myself with the, again, self ownership and my 100% myself to you. Let's put it that way, to you, not me. And she, as soon as she saw it, she's like, "Oh, this is dope! Congratulations putting this out." And I'm like, "Yeah, I put it out in October." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's I put it out right before the conference. It was something that I needed to do in order to relieve my own stress and really put my coaching framework on in audio, on in print, well, just the book and the audio. There's also a workbook, and soon to be a masterclass. Pardon me if that hit the mic. And so um, she's like, "Please promote this," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. I did it. I didn't say anything about it, and then I moved on." But essentially, Take What's Yours, Becoming a Liberated Creator, which you see right here, is about. I kind of like Basquiat out of the package. I kind of like that, but like I said, not at the risk of losing its quality at the end of the day. So I can keep it in the box. Y'all let me know. Um, so basically, it's not a long book. It's my last book. Yes, yes, yes. My last book that I wrote, and I'm really proud of this one because again, I'm laying down my coaching framework that I use with certain clients, and not everyone fits this mold. This isn't for everyone, but I use my discernment and my professionalism to really understand if this is a modality I want to use with that particular client. And essentially, it's about the 5 intentional principles which I coined, and it's create, fuel, recharge, contribute, and elevate. And so essentially, the creation is becoming your own liberated creator and stepping into the era and simply creating, but creating from that space of, I think I mentioned in one of the vlogs how I wrote my first novel. It's still incomplete. And the biggest issue with it is that I was writing for others. I was thinking of people who may read the book and writing accordingly. And when you do that, nothing is authentic to you. Nothing is real for you. So it might feel good. You might get the accolades and the rewards of following somebody else's vision for yourself, but that's never going to fulfill you. And so that's essentially what this book is about. Knowing that I work with a lot of high performers, celebrities, athletes, and folks who are entrepreneurs, creatives. That's my clientele. And so, just thinking about some of those really high performing, high income folks that I've worked with in the past, and that there was always this sense of, I did all these things, I've achieved all this, I've accomplished all this, but I'm still unfulfilled. Like, was this my dream? Now that I have it, now what? Or it was their dream, but they've sort of peaked, and now they're allowing external outside forces to dictate the way they move, pigeonhole them into the ways in which they get to actually exist and live and continue to create whatever way they want. It's the creator's prerogative, in my opinion, when it comes to what you create. It could be one thing on this day and something completely random and different on another day. And okay, and what? Right? It came to my head, my brain. And so that means it's mine to realize. And that's again, that's how I feel. So I started this framework because I wanted to help those clients that felt like there was more to have, but they simply felt stuck. And so this is about neuroplasticity and being able to retrain your brain and your mindset. But it's less psychology and more in the act. I believe being in action, in motion, momentum, um, solves a lot of the problems because you're actually in the work. The work isn't being theorized around you. You're actually testing and proving to yourself, because that's really all that matters, who you are, what you want, what you like, what you don't like, who you aren't, right? And so basically, this book and the podcast and the webinar, there is a webinar, it's about 7 minutes, just to kind of give more context to the theory. Um, but again, you create on your own terms, whether that's your life or your actual creativity. They're interchangeable for me. As you create your your what you as you become more and more of an artist and create, you are being shaped yourself. You're becoming. So to me, it's one. Um, it's one and the same. And so we're talking about creating, becoming that liberated creative. And so, what does that look like for you? What are you doing intentionally? That's why it's called the 5 intentional principles. What are you doing intentionally to create the life that you want, or to create the things that you want? Fueling yourself. How are you being inspired? Are you going to conferences like Afros and Audio, if you're a podcaster or an audio professional, or a creative in general, where you get to come and be inspired by others, um, but also inspire others by your own story and your own work? Are you reading books? Are you consuming things that will fill you up and give you a new perspective, or give you a different skill set? What are you consuming that will allow you to grow? And that, being very intentional about that. A lot of times we consume and consume and consume to escape. Frankly, I can speak for myself on that. And and so, but there are times where we are in our creative flow, and it kind of like, whatever you watch and it's unintentional, you're being inspired. Anybody had that experience? So what if you were very intentional about what you consumed, in a way that makes you move forward, creates a path for you to move forward, meaning that as soon as you're finished, done consuming, you're ready to go and take some action on your own. That's what that looks like. Some ignition, right? That fuel. That's what fuel is. It ignites. So you don't sit on that. You keep moving. Recharge. The act of rest. Like, we've been hearing for the past several years, thanks to Trisha Hersey. I don't, if I said her name wrong, my apologies. But rest as resistance. It really is that um, intentional act of recharging ourselves, resting, taking those mental health days, taking ourselves on walks, taking in the scenery, being present, going on a trip, whether it's down to your local waterfront, and being very intentional, going to spaces where you can be serviced, supported, you know, all of those things. That's what intentional recharge is. Resting, of course, taking a nap, taking days off where you don't take meetings all day, but you also don't sit around and look up things to do. You're intentionally resting. And then contribute. What are you contributing to? Who are you contributing to? I've been a big brother in the little brother program since, let's see, homie is 22 now. Actually, he just turned 21, and I met him when he was 15. So I started that, and that's been such a rewarding um, give back. Me and my little brother are very tight. We've left the little brother program, but he's still my little bro, right? And I'm still big bro. And that's a bond that I don't think will ever be broken. And so, who and what are you giving back to? I've also been a camp facilitator for Camping to Connect, which I still am. Thank you for holding me accountable for that. I already renewed my membership to the Appalachian Mountain Club, which is our local branch of campgrounds, AMC for short. And I also signed up for the Camping to Connect facilitations that I'm going to be doing. And I'm also working on reviving um, like rites of passage program that I did way back in the day when I was a youth coordinator um, in another program, and so I'm about to do rites of passages for boys and stuff like that. So it's really going to be important, and you know, who and what are you contributing to? Afros and Audio Podcast Festival. That's to me is I'm contributing to the world, the industry of podcasting, but also to the creatives in our community. That space is in contribution, you know, and I'm proud to do it. And then the fifth is elevate, right? Elevate. Like, what are you doing week after week to challenge yourself, to move yourself forward, to take action on the access that you have, because if anyone's alive, they're you have access to them. Might not make sense to you now, but if they exist in the world and you exist in the world, you have access. Doesn't mean they'll respond to you. Doesn't mean that it's meant to be, but it means that you have access. And so, just shooting your shot always, being willing to say, okay, last week I played this hand. This week I raised myself. I'm playing the next hand. It's so important that we elevate and challenge ourselves day after day, month after month, week after week, year after year to be not only a better version of ourselves, but to produce the outcomes that we want. And the only way to do that is stepping into the next level of yourself. The next level of yourself will require the next level of yourself. Get that, and you know you move different. And so, becoming a liberated creator is all about that. It's a guide around that, and that's really what I see myself as I have been um, a part of many cohorts and different groups, whether it's youth or men or creatives or entrepreneurs. And I really sort of moved myself out of the idea of being a life coach. And so that's why people don't really see me saying, I'm a life coach, I'm a life coach, because I am certified, dual certified in that. But I consider myself more of a guide at this point in my life. Um, and only certain people get to really experience that because I've done the work so much professionally that it really is for a certain client these days. So I put my work in my books. That way I can reach people no matter where they are in their journey, no matter what their life looks like. The podcast is obviously free, and the book is less than $20, probably less than 15, on Amazon and on my website, Talib Jasir. So I'll leave those links below the video. But anyway, this is the longest I've done. I'm gonna try to keep them under 20 minutes, but I wanted to share the information for you and also listen to Black women. So my daughter said, please promote this. And so I said, all right, all right, all right. Here we go. Take What's Yours, Become a Liberated Creator. I wrote this book in 2024. I did the podcast in 2024. It's a limited series. Won't be any other episodes. So what you see is what you get. And I appreciate your watch and your listen. Don't forget to subscribe. Wow. Don't forget to subscribe. I want to take that out, but I won't. I won't. I won't. The imperfection is what you'll be able to see grow with me as I move this forward. I'll be talking different. The lighting will be different. We'll just keep moving this forward. And every day, every time, I'll work to get better and better. All right? Peace.